Have you baked a cake? You're a witch. So I read a book yesterday on the Salem Witch Trials, just a basic one. There are lots of books about it, obviously. It reminded me of a long and hundreds-year-old book, which is one of the first sociology books from, it was called, that I read years ago. It was called Memoirs of Extraordinary Mass Delusions and the Madness of Crowds. And it goes into like all of the like hundreds of types of divination that people believed in back then, and all of these different ways that you could be accused of being a witch, including wiping dust off of a stool. I remember that example. And so in this book, basically the most outrageous example to me was that if you bake a cake, you're a witch. And it's something to do with mixing ingredients together being evil, and it's like you're mixing an evil potion, basically. So during the Salem witch trials, there were people I remember there were women and men executed for witchcraft. They were hanged for witchcraft. And like I think a man could even be associated with a woman who bakes a cake, or associated with a single woman, or anything. So the the puritanical nature of society was super fucking strong back then, in the late 1600s. So, like, if you know anything about Protestantism, you know that they're so fucking strict and wanting to be plain and paranoid about sex that they put tablecloths on tables that go all the way to the ground so men don't get turned on by fucking table legs, which is pretty hilarious. So, anyway, the book gets into the witch trials, and that I think it was 1692 when most of them happened. And, a bunch of people got hanged for witchcraft. And there were a lot of different factors, the puritanical nature of the culture making people paranoid, and coupled with the extreme puritanical, obviously religiously strict views in the culture at the time. So, like, the religion and the puritanical approach to the religion, combined with other factors, one that a million people, or probably more than a million people, have heard Joe Rogan talking about, is ergot, which is basically the fact that people were consuming wheat that had gotten moldy, and the mold had LSD in it, so they were fucking tripping balls without knowing about it. So they were tripping balls, and their puritanical culture made them all fucking paranoid about evil and shit, because they literally believed in black magic and good magic, and they could fucking accuse anyone of witchcraft as easily as some woke person gets triggered by anything today, right? So, like I said, you can get executed for witchcraft if someone even accuses you of being a witch, and then you'd get a jury, but people would ask leading questions like, so why did you kill these children, or some shit like that, not did you kill these children. And they didn't have lawyers or anything like that, and there are all sorts of reasons. But yeah, anyway, like I said, the most fucking outrageous one to me is that if you baked a cake, you're a witch. So have you baked a cake? You're a witch!